Welcome back. It is the Press Box, proudly powered by DSTV, and we're live from the Kampala Serena Hotel. Just in case you're joining us, my friend, I'm really disappointed about you. Which shows did you watch on Monday at 10 p.m.? It has to be the Press Box. We've just been speaking to the CEO of Simba Sports Club in Tanzania, Mr. Senzo Mbatha, who we hope has taught us a lesson or two about how to manage big clubs and make sure the fans stick with the club and the funding comes in and everyone can do well and the fans can enjoy the game. But in case you've missed the interview, don't worry. We shall upload it on our YouTube channel and we shall share the links so you can catch up with all the big details. Now, though, we talk about the big return. Yes, European football is back on this beautiful Monday. We can confirm that Manchester United will take on Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-finals, while Arsenal will be up against Manchester City. Now, you can watch all those games on SuperSport, just like the Premier League, just like the La Liga, just like what is happening in the Italian Serie A. But to give us more details, Mr. Colin Asimwe, the marketing manager, Maltrees Uganda, joins me this evening. Good evening, Colin, and welcome. This is your debut on the Press Box, isn't it?
It is my debut, indeed.
Fantastic having you here.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
The football is back. I mean, before we even talk about us, the fans, you at DSTV must be excited.
Well, we live off the fans, so if the fans are excited, we're excited.
Absolutely.
But I'm actually quite pleased that the football is back, and so it's not just the football that's back. The golf is back. The Formula One is back, and UFC and wrestling and all that kind of entertainment is back. And it may be a bit different from how it was traditionally, but it's quite refreshing. Actually.
It's different without the fans, but at the end of the day, we still enjoy the entertainment that comes with it.
So I think it's going to, at first was very disorienting, but then I think that what's going to happen is, as some people like to say, the new normal. And we're going to get normalized to audiences with background sound and cheers. And I think that the technologists now are in a new way to innovate and see how they can create that environment. But the idea that the teams that you know and love are still playing, they're still knocking it out of the park and still winning. I mean, if you just see what Man City did for Liverpool the other night, it was quite something.
Handing it to them.
Yes.
Okay, at the end of the day, so many of the football fans have been bored. But you guys have kept it up there because you've been showing us all these documentaries. You've been showing us all these beautiful movies coming from the past. We've learned more than we actually knew about sport.
Yeah, but Andrew, that's like it's what they call a heart stopper.
Yeah.
There was a moment there. There was a moment. There was a moment when we, yes. Yeah. But so I think, and I think that's how you sort of see, if you're in the entertainment business, that's how you start to see that the live sport is important. But then you start to see that the behind the scenes, the stories that make the heroes, that the backstories that make the champions. And I think that's what the lockdown and this new normal allowed us to do, to rediscover. And that's what we were sort of running with Super Sport Relive, allowing people to relive their greatest moments, glories. And we actually worked with different commentators across the continent to bring some of those moments to fans. And the idea, the view was that fans should be able to connect a bit deeper than live sports, and that sport is more than just being live. Sometimes it's about reliving things. Where were you when the treble was won in '99? Where were you, when this Champions League title was taken? And I think that going back there then makes you appreciate what you have now. Yeah. And so then we're hoping that our customers are able to enjoy that.
I've been very excited to rewatch Sifiwe Shabalala's opening goal for South Africa at the World Cup in 2010. And for me, that was fantastic. But I tell you, for us, the football fans, the sports fans, we are not just excited about the return. We're excited about the fact that, there's a silver lining with the pandemic. There's now a lot of action. Almost every 2 days, there's a football game. There's Premier League tonight. There's more Premier League even before the weekend comes
Andrew, the games are back to back every day. And I think in the weekdays, the games are nighttime. It's only on the weekend that the games are, during the daytime. And that is across all leagues. So it's Serie A, it's La Liga, it's the Premiership. It's non-stop. It's not going to stop, and it's going to be like that.
I have a problem, my friend. I have a problem. When I was coming here, I had two big questions. Someone asked me on the street because I told them Colin was going to be here on the show. And the first question was the pricing of the bouquets. when do they get to watch? Because this person has never subscribed to DSTV. They're just subscribing to it for the first time. So he wants to know a detail or two about the bouquets. Which bouquet do I pay when I want to watch the Champions League, when I want to watch the Premier League? How much are the bouquets? I mean, we should get these details out.
All right. So there are three simple prices that if you're a sports lover and this is sort of something you're dialed into, your compact bouquet where all your Serie A, La Liga, and the EPL is seated is 79,000.
Okay.
Your compact plus bouquet where your Champions League is going to sit from August 7th to August 23rd in Lisbon is sitting at 129,000. And your premium bouquet where your Formula One sits and all your premium sports and golf is 219,000.
Oh, okay. Let me just drop this in. Let me just drop this in because DSTV is the official sponsor of the Press Box. He has come with huge goodies, huge goodies. I think I should let you say it. Starting next weekend. Starting next Monday.
Andrew, I think that you should announce
I should
this.
say it?
Yes.
All
We
right.
can't bring the presents and then we also announce them.
So let me say this. Starting next Monday on the Press Box, for the next 8 weeks?
Yes.
For the next 8 weeks, we shall be giving away a Compact Plus subscription to a lucky viewer per month. You will get 1 month subscription, Compact Plus, for free, courtesy of DSTV and the Press Box, starting Monday next week. So stick around. We shall be asking you very specific questions. If you get them right, you have yourself a Compact Plus bouquet for the next 1 month. Tell me, what is coming up? What should the fans look forward to now that it's finally back?
Well, I have to tell you. So I personally, I'm excited to see who's going to make the top four, who's in the Champions League for next season.
I mean, that's Manchester United. I'll tell you this. This Manchester United, there's Chelsea, there's Man City, and Liverpool. That is top four. You can take that to the bank.
I know that you didn't say Arsenal.
I love the club.
You people. I really should call my finance guy and we just cancel this whole thing.
But tell me, what is coming up?
Andrew.
I'll have Arsenal to the financial manager at DSTV.
Andrew, we've done the studies.
Yeah.
Arsenal has the highest number of fans in this country.
No, it's not true, by the way.
Listen,
Arsenal has the
listen.
noisiest number
No.
of fans.
Actually,
in the
you
country.
guys are the noisiest. I'm just saying.
Pora,
Anyway,
pora.
so this is what's happening. We're excited to see who's going to make it into the Champions League across the different leagues, who's in the final round. It's neck to neck across different leagues. So that's exciting. The first 4 races for Formula One, which begins July 3rd in 2 days, is from the 7th to the 23rd.
Yeah.
It's going to be in camp. There are
that's beautiful.
there are no return legs. Oh. It's like boarding school.
Yeah, it's like boarding school.
In the same dome, you
you're
eat
all there.
together, and then you go and bash each other on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
by
that's,
the way, I studied abroad, so I don't know about the dormitory thing. But that's a story for another day.
Maybe one of your OBs knows your Twitter handle. So I think that's going to be. I think that's then. So, but what's so for us? Why this is such an exciting quarter? And quarter, I mean, the next 90 days are going to be breathtaking because we go into the football. It takes us all of the way into end of July.
Yeah.
It's going to take us right there. Then we go into the Champions League from the 7th to 23rd. We take a 2-week break. And the first week of September, the new football season begins. So imagine all that pressure, all that excitement. It's almost like, when you've been hungry and then someone says, okay, you just serve yourself. It's a Serena buffet.
You first drop a tear before you serve yourself.
So
I think that's an interesting one.
I think that's how much sport has actually, people have missed it, but also I think that having it back and having the rights to bring all that action for customers, I think is quite rewarding for us.
I probably should re-explain that. Because of the coronavirus pandemic, it means the moment the current season ends, we have just a few weeks before the next season starts. So if you're a big football fan or a big sports fan, you need to pay your subscription now so that the moment the season is done, you immediately start getting highlights. I watch Blitz all the time. I'm overly addicted to Blitz. So
is that 200?
I don't miss 200 at 1 and 7 p.m.
Yes.
I'm always watching Blitz because it's the best way for you to know what is happening around the world. So question number 2. That is what is on screen. But for us, the customers at home, I have someone at home who is just turned 2 months and about 3 weeks. And they haven't started watching football yet.
Yes.
But what I see in the next few months, then we might have to fight for that screen. I don't have money to buy the second screen in the house. What do I do? What does DSTV help me with here?
So part of, And I think this is actually really quite interesting, because in the next couple of weeks we're going to announce some very exciting news around football and around how you can watch. We're expanding the entire viewing experience. We're going to take it digital. It's going to go online. So it's all going to be really, really fresh. But I think that for a customer, the strongest solution and the quickest way is the DSTV Now app, which is an add-on service for you. So you have a tablet, you have a phone, a smartphone, you have a laptop. You can connect 4 other devices to your account. Okay. So whatever your smart card is, you can connect that there, and then you can watch.
On the go.
On the go. So wherever you are, you're on the road, you're on the way back home, you're here waiting for Andrew's interview. Yeah. You can just be streaming small. And what's interesting about it is, so we've done a few partnerships. We brought it cheaper with the telecom, so we put on bundles, so it's affordable. And I think that makes it quite exciting. You can connect up to 4 devices, and it allows you to sync up to all your current programs, and you can still download everything and catch up.
So you can decide to leave the living room, go to your bedroom, have your phone, leave the kids to enjoy the screen, and you're still watching.
People are no longer fighting for remotes now. Yes.
So I've been the one behind on this one. Okay, the DSTV app then, it's what you should suddenly get to make sure you can catch DSTV Now app.
Yes, the DSTV Now app.
The DSTV Now app is what you should have on your phone, so you can watch all your favorite sport on the go. It could even be news itself. You probably want to watch a bit of CNN here and there, a bit of BBC and there, and you can watch all that action. I want to cross over Joel Kamadi in case you have any questions that you want to ask Colin this evening about DSTV and how you can enjoy the action as well. He's promised he's going to bring us goodies. Do you want to tell us about those goodies next week?
No, the goodies will be here. We won't be on this environment.
Okay, we shall decide on how. Which team do you support, though?
Andrew, we're on national TV.
I feel like we should put this out so that the people know.
We are on national TV.
You must tell me.
We are on national TV.
By the way, not telling me means you support Arsenal. It means because most Arsenal fans are not comfortable about the performance of their team over the last 1 decade.
Andrew,
so they don't even talk about it.
Can I tell you? I feel nothing about what you think.
Okay. Manchester United fans.
But us Arsenal fans, we are strong at heart.
Yeah. I mean, for someone who hasn't won the league since 2004, to still support the club, that is being strong-hearted.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
We're long-suffering.
Absolutely.
And it's a Bible virtue.
Please stick around. Joel Kamadi, are you online to tell us if there are any questions for Colin Asimwe this evening? He's the marketing manager, MalChoice Uganda. Sport is back. I should say live sport is back. There's so much action now you can watch from the comfort of your living room to make sure you enjoy all these games. Joel.
Wow, Colin, let me tell you something. You've just proved, and you've brought it out, that Arsenal has the most number of supporters in Uganda, and that's one thing I've been trying to get across these people, because I sit in a panel which has Manchester United fans from, Andrew to the other Andrew Mwangusha, to Mark Sally, who doesn't say it, but we know he is, to Asha Kumukisha. So I find myself in a bubble alone. But I'm glad you came today, because you have put everything to bed. Don't worry about the performance. Don't be shy to say you're an Arsenal fan. Online, Twitter, Sir Fabian Paves is saying, great to have Spartacus talk all things sports and sports entertainment than his usual NTV men life stories. Okay, hope he's not an Arsenal fan. Though, we can't have me, myself, Joel Kamadi, and him combining efforts. Before you answer and go to that one, okay, let me just do this one before I come to you. Please ask Colin when DSTV hopes to bring back the NBA. We miss it. Colin, you guys had probably, you lost some of your subscribers when the pandemic came, and I know it dealt a big blow to the business, but when sports came back to the television and to MultiChoice and DSTV, you had traffic, I'm thinking, and lots of it. How is it right now in terms of subscriptions at all?
Thank you for those, reassuring comments, Joel. And I want to say this because I want to say it in context and I want to say it right. When because of the pandemic, it wasn't like someone secretly had the sports and they were hiding it away from the subscribers. No one had the sports. We didn't have the sports. The guys who play the football weren't playing the sports. So it was. The return of live sports was good for everyone. It was good for our fans because people were invested. Like you had bet on a string of 10 games and then the pandemic hit and now you're on game 5. Yeah. So you're there. Kapapula, every week you have to change it from trouser to trouser so that they don't wash it. That's so you think about. I mean, I'm exaggerating with a bit of embellishment, but the idea is it came back for everyone, and it was such a glorious return because it was very fulfilling to sort of have people have that faith renewed and be excited and be reminded what it means to cheer and passionately love their clubs. So yes.
Someone has been asking about when you're getting back
The NBA.
the NBA.
So there are conversations, but for now, what we have is what we have.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you have is what you have at the moment.
Yes.
But I mean, what would you tell the customers out there
Yes.
in terms of long term? Because I mean, we had the Euro that was just around the corner.
Yes.
The
So
pandemic
the
is
Euro was postponed. It was
Yeah.
postponed. It's most likely going to sit into the back end of this year or early next year. But we will have that. We'll be carrying it. But to sort of answer that, I think about it, and I think apart from a few sports, at DSTV we carry the highest number of sports. I think on the continent, with rights and access and exclusive backstage interviews, and we try as much as possible to bring as much content to viewers because also what's happening now is people are becoming eclectic. You know, people like golf, they like squash, they like cricket, they follow Formula One. So us, when we grew up, we just used to watch Kamala, the Ugandan giant, on wrestling. That was our story.
Yes.
Now you have different tastes. You want to see the All Blacks. You want to watch the HSBC Sevens. So and I think that if that's the appetite and that's the palate, then the ambition is on us sort of bring those things to customers.
And by the way, like I said at the beginning, the FA Cup was back as well. It's live on Super Sport, and we watched some of that action over the weekend. Yeah, Manchester United, I mean, they won their game. They will take on now Chelsea in the semi-final. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has beaten Frank Lampard thrice this season already. Will he beat him the fourth? Then, of course, you've got Arsenal up against Manchester City. So quickly join us on our social media. The hashtag is NTV PRESSBOX, and tell us which two of those four teams will actually make it to the final at Wembley. The first one is Manchester United up against Chelsea. The other one is Arsenal up against Manchester City. You know, I was going to ask you this first. Who of those four teams do you think makes it to the final? Man United, Chelsea?
I think
You're going to stay out of this, or?
I think Man United is in the final.
Okay. Then you've got Arsenal up against Man City.
No. So have you ever heard about the 23rd Psalm? It's about even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we shall make it through. Or even if we don't make it through,
We shall have walked through the shadow of
we
death.
have walked through the shadow of
Okay.
death.
Joel Kamadi, I'm coming to you very shortly once again because I want to have your opinion as well on the FA Cup. The semi-finals are finally sorted. Most of the teams that are not going to win the Premier League now have a big chance of taking some silverware home, being the FA Cup, which, by the way, is the oldest footballing competition out there. I think, Joel, I should start off by asking you, Arsenal doing well, and now they take on Manchester City. How confident are you, my friend?
Let me just finish that statement by Colin. For thou is with me, the rod and the staff. You know, Manchester City, we know. And I'm speaking on behalf of all the Arsenal fans. But Arsenal is a team that can surprise you as well. But if you ask me for my prediction, the final, of course, will be, I don't think Manchester United is going to the final. I think Chelsea will make it to the final. And I have a whiff that Arsenal will not make it to the final. I think Manchester City will make it to the final. Those are my 2 cents.
I mean, I can understand when you say Arsenal won't make it, but I'm disappointed you think Manchester United can't make it to the final. I mean, it's such a huge competition that United need to win moving forward. But more interestingly, the other thing I really wanted to ask you was the viewing. Is DSTV hoping to create any theme parks in the future? And I ask this because of things like the Champions League, things like because of big derbies.
Yes.
I'm a big football fan, and sometimes I don't want to watch my football at home
Yes.
just alone because My wife will quickly ask me why some Manchester City players have not won the World Cup. And I'm telling her Manchester City does not specifically play the World Cup.
Yes.
Are we hoping for that kind of fanfare in the future? It's probably too early to ask.
No, but it's probably too early to ask. But there are ideas. There are ideas that are being mooted around the evolution of community watching, community viewing, and you have to sort of see it the way stadia are evolving and how that's going to shape the future of entertainment. Maybe you don't end up in a stadium. Maybe you're not in a crowded, club or bar, but most likely what we're likely to see is maybe it's a drive-in sort of arrangement. And these are conversations that are happening. The evolution of how you can still be together with people, because it's the euphoria that makes these tournaments and competitions so exciting. It's great to be in a stadium, but if you can't do that, what's the next best thing? And there's some models that we're exploring that will sort of sit in that mode, likely in the future, not now, not soon, but there are conversations that have happened.
There's always a question that every marketing manager is asked when they appear on television. Your involvement in Ugandan sport, what are the plans? Are we going to have DSTV come and take on something or support something? What's the plan moving forward? What is your plan in terms of giving back to Ugandan sport?
But Andrew, why do you say we are not giving back?
No.
I think the challenge is always the way that question is phrased.
Yeah.
And it's framed so in such an adversarial manner. And it's so I like to think about it like this, and this is just my considered view, is that we're in the business of content management. Part of what we provide is sports content.
Yeah.
And we have, if you think about it, we've invested significantly in bringing Ugandan content to the continent, Ugandan content to the continent, and to other viewers, because the ambition is to continuously support the sports franchises and the sports associations and the federations, but primarily the business is that of sports content, and we are talking to some people. We're talking to some people to sort of see how we can take what's currently available and bring that. I mean, there's no point in us commissioning. If you think about it, so we commissioned I think some 15 movies already in the last 6 months, and that's fine, that's locked. But then you ask a question that's actually quite pertinent. What do you need to do for sports? So there are conversations, but it also has to come in the medium in which we are best placed to take it, because I think that if you say to someone, you must come and give money to sports, maybe that's important, but what's important is to take the sports content and allow those stars to be discovered, allow local talent to be seen in a time and an era where scouts can't travel. Yeah. The challenge and the opportunity is in discovery for local talent. So packaging and promoting and creating platforms for that talent discovery, I think, is the job.
I like what you say. Joel, we shall cross you very, very shortly. But first, I like your answer on content. And for me, that makes a lot of sense. Not just the sports fans here. I was just watching Pearl Magic the other day.
Yes.
And I've watched all these Ugandans that have short movies, that have fantastic shows.
Yes.
You're heavily investing in Ugandans as well from that perspective.
Yes. So that is actually, we as part of our corporate strategy, our single biggest investment across the group is what we call the multi-choice talent factory, where we're working with young writers, producers, training them, we give them a 9-month internship, train them, release them into the world. But it is all so with the things that are happening across the world, Andrew, for us it has become very important because people want to see themselves. Everyone likes a Chuck Norris and they like a Bruce Lee, but they like to hear, Andrew Kabura's jokes. They like to see someone they know. And that need for representation is sort of driving the agenda for us. But if you think about it, we're Africa's oldest storyteller. We've been telling African stories for 20 years, 25 years. But it became very conscious for us that if you were going to tell the Pearl Magic story, we needed to source original stories, work with local producers, find content that's authentic and rich. Yeah. And that connect with the audiences.
I mean, I've watched a music show, I think by Judith Yana, called Jechili.
Yeah, Jechili.
I've watched Salvador in there as well, talk about food. I've watched a lot of local comedy on DSTV.
Mizigo Express. So Mizigo Express is quite something else. I think that any Ugandan in Uganda and abroad, you haven't laughed until you've seen Mizugo Express.
Absolutely.
I think absolute recommendation.
Okay.
A1.
Okay. Joel Kamadi, you're standing by. We have so much reaction online. The bigger question tonight, though, is the semi-finals of the FA Cup are now lined out. It's a cocktail of football for you. Manchester United is up against Chelsea. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer up against Frank Lampard. On the other side, you've got Mikel Arteta up against his former boss in Pep Guardiola. Arsenal up against City, which 2 of the 4 will make